In the neon dusk of Night City, the line between flesh and chrome is less a boundary than a temptation. Cyberware promises speed, strength, and survival. Yet, lurking beneath its polished surface is the shadow of a pathology unique to this world. Cyberpsychosis. It is both a medical condition and a myth, a diagnosis and a death sentence, where the very implants meant to make you more than human erode the fragile scaffolding of what keeps you human at all. No story captures this paradox more poignantly than that of David Martinez, the boy who rose from poverty to power, only to fall to the deepest abyss the city knows. From a medical standpoint, cyberpsychosis is a syndrome of fragmentation. The individual begins to detach from biological rhythms, food, rest, even circadian cycles become irrelevant. The nervous system bends beneath the demands of integrated machines, amplifying aggression and diminishing empathy. David's trajectory is textbook in one sense, but exceptional in another. Where many citizens of Night City collapse under the strain of even moderate augmentation, David appeared to withstand wave after wave of chrome. His resilience seemed miraculous until it wasn't. Neurological research into cyberpsychosis suggests that thresholds differ dramatically between individuals. Some crumble after a single neural implant. Others survive full-body conversion. David's unique neurochemistry, his high baseline of empathy, and his strong social bonds gave him a buffer. But no buffer is infinite. Each edition of Chrome was like pulling bricks from the foundation of a building. The structure stood tall for longer than expected, yet collapse was inevitable. Psychologically, cyberpsychosis is a kind of engineered dissociation, much like psychosis in our own world. It warps perception, but it adds layers of compulsive behavior, violent ideation, and fractured identity. Patients often experience their bodies as tools rather than selves. Others around them become abstractions, replaceable parts, rather than living beings. David's psychology is marked by deep wounds, even before his descent. The loss of his mother, Gloria, stripped him of his anchor and exposed him to the seductions of power. Maine became a father figure, Lucy a lover and a tether to intimacy, but these relationships were fragile lines against the gravitational pull of the city's violence. Each time David chose to install new Chrome, he was not merely enhancing himself. He was numbing pain, chasing transcendence, fleeing grief. Cyberpsychosis, in this light, is not simply a neurological breakdown, but the cumulative result of trauma, inequality, and the hunger for survival. Yet to speak of cyberpsychosis only as an individual pathology misses the truth. Night City itself is the disease vector. This is a place where violence is commodified. Corporations profit from escalation, and psycho squads, like MaxTac, treat victims less as patients than as contagious threats. The sociological lens reveals cyberpsychosis not as a freak occurrence, but as the logical endpoint of systemic dehumanization. Those who fall are often the poor, the marginalized, the desperate. People for whom chrome is not luxury, but survival. David was exceptional in potential, but ordinary in circumstance. A young man crushed beneath structural inequality, denied healthcare, opportunity, even dignity. His spiral was not an isolated tragedy, but the visible symptom of a society that manufactures cyberpsychos to sell more chrome, more news, more fear. David's final stand is one of the most heartbreaking sequences in cyberpunk narrative. By the end, he is almost unrecognizable. A towering chrome titan, no longer boy, no longer student, not even mercenary, but weapon. His movements are graceful, yet monstrous. His will is both his own and entirely subsumed by the machinery of survival. And yet, even in the ruins of his humanity, a spark remains. His love for Lucy, his commitment to her dream of reaching the moon, persists until his last breath. Unlike many who succumb to cyberpsychosis, David does not dissolve into pure sadism or mindless slaughter. Instead, he burns himself out deliberately, as if choosing to let his humanity be consumed so that hers could remain intact. It is here the tragedy becomes complete. The city did not merely strip David of his life. It turned his greatest strengths, loyalty, resilience, love, into the very fuel of his destruction. What, then, is the meaning of David's fall? From a medical view, it illustrates the fragility of neurobiological thresholds. From a psychological lens, it demonstrates the corrosive impact of trauma and grief. From a cultural perspective, it is an indictment of systems that turn human beings into weapons and then blame them for breaking. Cyberpsychosis is not merely a fictional disorder. It is a mirror held up to our world, a meditation on addiction, on violence, on technology's double edge. Just as roid rage reflects the dangers of chemical overreach, cyberpsychosis reflects our anxieties about integration with machines. and the possibility that in reaching for transcendence, we lose the core of our humanity. David Martinez is thus not just a character, but a cautionary tale. He is the boy who flew too close to the neon sun, his wings not made of wax, but of steel, wires, and fire. His tragedy lingers because it is both personal and systemic, both mythic and all too real in a world where technology and trauma entwine. The tragedy of David Martinez is not that he lost himself to cyberpsychosis. It is that he lived in a city where such a fate was inevitable. Night City didn't just take David's body, it rewrote his soul, and in doing so, asked us the most unsettling question of all. When the line between human and machine dissolves, what remains worth saving?